Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about push hands. Some people have asked what the role of push hands is in our training. A lot of people think it's not much use. How can you fight with push hands? All of these sorts of questions. So I'll answer that. I'll try to talk about that today and demonstrate a little bit with Fontaine. So in our system, we have four pillars that we talk about. So we talk about leg training, we talk about form training, and we talk about Santi, which is a standing practice, and push hands. So these four things are integral to our system, to our way of training. So they're all about building the gongfu in the body. They're not techniques as such. So push hands, using push hands to fight, that's not actually, from our point of view, from our system, we don't say that. We say, if you're very good, like talking about traditional Chinese martial arts, good at fighting, you probably have very good push hand skills anyway. But just because you have good push hand skills doesn't mean you can use it. You can apply it in a real fight. So it's a tool, it's a training tool, it's a way to help you understand your body. So I'm going to demonstrate some basic push hands ways of practice with Fontaine, my wife, and then I'll explain a few of the principles as we go along. So the beginning part of push hands, normally you'll see people taking up a particular stance. It's usually, like about this distance apart. Some people use very wide stance. We tend to focus here with about a fist or so between the feet. That's pretty much up to the method or the school you train with. The idea, of course, is to be able to sit. This is very important. And that's one of the reasons we do a lot of the Santi practice, is to enable your body to sit comfortably in one leg, and then to use the power of that sit to transfer weight and to absorb pressure from your partner. The other important thing in the training is your ability to turn your waist. So we turn quite a lot. So we have this position when we practice push hands. So you'll see my body twists quite a lot. This arm is in this area here. This one is at the side, and my head looks forward. I avoid leaning. These are some of the pitfalls of push hands. So we'll demonstrate a little bit. First, the very simple basic level, which we call the single push hands. It's just to help you understand a few points. So first, in Fontaine, I'm receiving. So this is water off posture. So it's rounded, it's relaxed. So if I do this, it's not right. Okay, it will be a problem. I have to link my body, so I have to relax here. So when she gives pressure, I can adjust so it can go to my leg. But of course, resisting doesn't really prove much. It means, okay, maybe you're strong and you're connected. That's a good start for practice. When the push comes toward my body, I start to go back. Now my hand can move in depending on my partner. Some people are very strong, so I can move my arm in. When it gets to about a fist distance, roughly, she keeps pushing, and then I start my turn. So that's usually where I need to turn. I turn my body. So if I don't turn enough, this is a very common problem. So you push, you try to pull your partner across your body, right? You don't have to do that, but the problem of pulling means you're tense. Your arm becomes tense. So if your partner's very strong, you'll be really sore after a very short period of time. So that's not correct. Good practice, I should say. So they're pushing. It's better if you can turn your body, and you'll get to a point where they lack the power to continue pushing against you or doing anything. So that means neutralizing. So that's usually what you're aiming for here. So now, after I've received, I'm going to push. Fontaine is going to receive. So I'm pushing on the back of her hand, her wrist area, this part of the arm you can see here. So if I push here, it's not very good. If I push on her fingers or her wrist, if she's very soft or flexible, my hand will slip off. You can see that I'm not controlling. There are two main points of control. If you get them right, it can't affect the whole body or control the whole body. Not 100%, but it makes a big difference. So you need to protect yourself from that attack and from this attack. So the elbow, of course, is dangerous. You don't want to be hit with the elbow. So the hand tends to protect or guard this area. So this is beginning level. There's a few other ways to do this, but I'll just explain as we go along. So we're just doing single hand for now. So I'll just go back to this. So I push with the heel of my hand, not with my fingers. It's not very strong. Even if they are strong, you might slip off. It's not so good. So Fontaine also needs to adjust to give me the ward off. So yeah, before you move, you need a ward off. Yeah, so I need to feel there's a connection. She needs to feel, sorry, there's a connection to her legs. So when I push, I'm not pushing with my arm. This is another problem. Okay, this means like your body's separated, or you haven't done enough training. It's very common, and that's usually the go-to thing. We all go, oh yeah, I'm pushing you, and it just is here. It's not that strong really. You need to connect with your legs, so you can see the position. I'm pushing from my leg, my back leg. Okay, and then Fontaine, if you just use one arm, you have to turn your body, yeah, that way. Okay, until you feel my forces going, even more, a bit more, yeah, that's better. So now it's awkward for me to do something. It doesn't mean I can't, but it's very awkward. Now she can return the push. Yeah, so she has to also connect with her leg. Yeah, and then I'm connecting with my back leg, and I have to sit. So this is important. Can you see what I'm doing? I can lift this foot. Doesn't mean you have to do that, but it means, yeah, it's good. Your body can support, and they have that, and the waist can turn. So these, maybe we'll pause for a second. These are the fundamental parts of training. So you can do push hands to help develop those things. But your leg training, your Santi and other things will should already prepare you for most of this. But it is different when there's someone pushing, because there are different forces involved, people of different heights. So you're testing whether or not you apply principles. So when you can't do it, you have to adjust. Your body will automatically begin to adjust, and then you feel, yeah, okay, now it's getting better. So it's like a method. The push hands is a way to help you check, validate what you're doing, so that you understand, now I got it. No, it's not right. So this is a beginning part. So we start again just to show the basic thing. So when I get to this point, before I push, okay, the hand has to, both hands have to change together. So sometimes this happens. The person pushes, they don't turn smoothly or at the right time, and you can feel it's not very good. So the meaning of the turn, why you have to turn properly, is to avoid people locking you. Okay, so if your hand is in a certain position, that's go back to that one where you were strong. Yeah, it's harder to twist or lock them. If it's in a different position, it's quite easy to lock. Yeah, so you don't want that. So part of the turning is to avoid people grabbing or locking you. Part of that is part of the training. We say it's like, the bicycle pedal, how it adjusts when you're pedaling. That's the feeling you need. It must be smooth. So push hands train smoothness, I should say, as well. So, people do Tai Chi and it's meant to be smooth and continuous. There's another idea behind the training, is to make things very smooth. Smoothness implies there's no gap. So when there's gaps or breaks, that's a weakness. That means if your partner's very good, they'll pick it straight away. You're too tense, you're not smooth, you haven't adjusted. They understand, their tinging, their feeling will be very good, and they can pick it and do something against you. So this is, I'm explaining all of the important reasons why you need to do this. So here is another thing. When they push, a lot of people may still have a very tense upper body and chest. So you will find it's not very good. It's not like, it can be a problem. Obviously your force will be up. So they talk about Hanchen Babe in traditional training. So the chest is slightly relaxed. The back is kind of connected and the chi is down. Obviously your chi is down. So this is like a bit of protection for your body, and it integrates your strength. So these are all little things you need to understand. So you push here, you turn here. So at the end of the push, I turn my wrist. So again, if Fontaine's trying to lock my, like Chinna, go that way, the other way. No, this way. Yeah, you'll feel it's hard to turn because the hand is in a certain position. Okay, it's like that. It's not like that. So then you have to be mindful of that when you're at this point. But all of these things you need someone to tell you, to practice with you, then you can change your body. Now, if we introduce the other hand, even though I'm doing one hand, can you see I'm usually protecting? It's a habit, it's a good habit, obviously. And there's a counter force. So this hand, even if it's here, you should feel there's a counter force. It's not just there for the sake of it. It's not, just do this, but no, I don't need that arm. That's not right. Your body it needs a balance. Yeah, it needs to feel the balance. So this arm is helpful, but also it's protecting. So you can see now, she pushes again. Look at my hand, see how I'm prepared to protect and defend. So even though I'm focusing on the one arm, this is still in that position. So if I introduce the other hand, beginning stage, maybe we change legs. So you can see this one. So push me, yep, I turn. So here, what I try and do in the beginning, I try to find where's the elbow, whereabouts is her elbow. Because if you haven't trained, you're not sure. If you don't cover it, it comes to get you. If you go here, it can also get you. Yeah, okay, well, I'll explain that one. So if you don't cover it here, like this, if you're here, this I can lock, see? I can lock the arm and the wrist, very easy to hurt somebody. If it's here, if it's not on, and this is what Fontaine was showing, yeah, it becomes very easy to sneak through and strike. Here, you're controlling. So the beginning stage, you want to feel as she pushes, you've got this point and this point. You need to cover. She pushes. Yeah, now I turn. Now I find her arm. So there's different ways to do this. Beginning, be familiar, feel. It says this hand is like a worm. It's kind of finding where the area is. Later, it can also change. There's different positions. So this one you can see more like for fighting. For fighting, you can see I find the elbow crease, so I can lock here, but I'm also to her face, to her neck. So that's danger for that person. Okay, so push and turn. So you can see that roll back. So this is a roll back. And push and turn. Yeah, and she pushes again. This arm must come here pretty quickly. Don't leave it to the last second because they can still attack you. This arm is the assistant, okay, of this one. This is the assistant. Can you see? There's some pressure. Look at it. Her body's already off balance a little bit. You don't do that all the time because that becomes a little annoying if you overdo it, but you know the purpose. Look at this hand. Now when I'm finished, I'm protecting. If she does like her hand is here and she lunges, I can protect with this hand, you see? If she's not in good position, I can use that one straight away. So there's a lot of little things in there. It's just teaching you different skills, right? These things are subtle. The detail becomes more precise. In the beginning, training isn't that subtle. It's very overt. You can always see what's happening and you can see the power and whatever. We call Mingjing, one way to explain it. However, you have to have that first, then you learn the subtle things. It means your body has changed, you can feel more, you understand more. Yeah, you've gone to the next level, to the next gear. So these are some of the points. So what is it doing? Okay, it's training a whole lot of things. So direction of your force. So often when people push, they don't push straight. They push either too far this way or too far this way. This is the most common one. Okay, they push here. So people feel really, what's the point of doing push hands? I can't, I'm in trouble. Look, she controls me here, push. You can trap me. You can see this is a trap, yeah? If she does it again, there's few ways to avoid. Just change the arm, that's one. Second one is, again, if you push that way, I can split. and this becomes a strike, all kinds of little things. So the thing is, don't push the wrong direction. It becomes a problem for you. So here's a turn. Yeah, I want to push towards the center. So that's important. So that creates a problem for the person if they don't react to that. They have to follow and turn. Yeah. Okay, so these are the things that you develop with push hands. Your water force, your coordination of both arms, your sensitivity, your structure. Your structure is very important. Under pressure, you can still maintain your structure. You can relax. Okay, so maybe I'll just talk a little bit more about that. So relax is a big theme in all of the training. So you have to train everything up until the body is comfortable under awkward conditions. If you just train where you feel I'm relaxed because there's no pressure, okay, that's a beginning. If you want to train first for health, you need to have the ability to relax yourself and feel where your weakness is. That's part of relax. It's a health way. It's very important. Okay, it lowers the qi. It stimulates your internal organs, your internal processes. It helps your body heal. It's great. It's a very important thing. Main reason why most people come to learn any of the internal arts. But it's just one stage. Well, it's more than one stage, I should say. But it's important. You need to have relax under all conditions. So if you relax here, that's one condition. Can you still stay relaxed here? Can you still stay relaxed here? Can you still stay relaxed here on one leg and move? You know, these are the different levels or conditions. You have to train it all the time. And when you're punching, you're doing all sorts of things. At first, your body can't do it, so it's awkward. So you do push hands like that, you can see your body will be tense at first. You start to feel quite tense until your body gets used to it, and you can turn more, you can relax more. So you can see here, body has to stay a certain way. So you have to sit, you have to keep straight, and see the posture stays like that. If you start doing this or this, there's already weakness. Okay, so these are a few points. The push hands is a very important tool for training. It's not exactly fighting, but when you do fight, you need it because you contact with people very quickly, and you have to feel, you have to control. So they're within push hands. Usually in the Yang style Tai Chi, they talk about the different qualities, Penglu Jian, and all of those things. So those things you apply when you're using it. But actually, they're always there. All of the forces should be there if you're trained up well. Thanks for listening.